quite literally one of my favorite kart racing games of all time, made by Universal Interactive and Vicarious Visions, one of the best Crash games of all time. Crash Nitro Kart. First, let's get directly into the story. The story is Crash and his buddies are hanging out on their island home when all of a sudden their house is sucked up by an enormous beam. No one seems to be bothered by this beam, including Crash, who just literally puts on some swag sunglasses as soon as this happens. Funnily enough, the same thing happens to Cortex, and this is actually his castle from the first game. Can't believe they actually brought it back. When Crash and the gang wake up after being sucked out of the beam, they find out they are now in Emperor Velo the 22nd's Coliseum. This Coliseum holds multiple races. In order to save their islands and get home, Crash and the gang must compete in a variety of races, which could result in, well, destroying them. If there's one thing the game does well, it's the comedy. And holy crap, this game has one of the best opening intro pieces of music I've ever heard in my life.
Turbocharged extravaganza by Vicarious Visions. Brace yourself for Crash Nitro Kart!
You can't have a more badass intro than the one I just showed you. You're probably wondering what happens after this. After this, you're immediately dropped into a HUD world after deciding to play as either Team Crash or Cortex. This decides what character you play as, but since I like Crash Bandicoot, I stuck with the good guys. You're immediately dropped to this hub world where you can practice your racing skills. There will be these teleport pads all over the island and the hub world. These will take you directly to races. Right before races start, you can choose from either Crash, Coco, or Crunch. Coco is the beginner driver, Crash is the medium driver, and Crunch is the advanced driver. So really, if you're a beginner, play as Coco, then as you get halfway through the game, play as Crash, and then near the end of the game, play as Crunch. The first track you'll play on is Inferno Island, and this game's graphics are some of the best in the series. The game plays quick, smooth, and sweet, which is something I like. The gameplay is exactly the same as CTR, except a little bit more stiff. The game was slightly rushed, so I can see why the controls were stiff. The graphics in this game are beautiful. There is one thing I want to talk about in the story mode, but yeah, let's just take a look at it. Basically, there's a team mechanic. The longer you and your teammate, aka the person a part of your team, will basically fill up a meter. When this meter fills up, you can activate a frenzy meter, which allows you to have infinite items. The problem is, during the races, you can hurt your teammate. Meaning, if your teammate's in front of you, you'll lose. And even if your teammate gets first place, you'll still lose. Normally in kart racing games, if you get in the first, second, or third position, you win. But in this game, you gotta aim for first, or you lose. So, since you can't hurt your teammates, you're at a huge disadvantage. The only thing you can do, and I swear to God, the only thing you can do, is either use a TNT block or an ice block, since most of the items are projectiles. Right before and after you face a boss, you'll get a funny boss cutscene. I don't want to show the actual sounds that play during the cutscene because I'm scared I'm going to get copyright striked, but I gotta admit, this game plays awesome, and these bosses don't let down. Each of them are specially trained in one stat. But if you want to find out those stats, play the game yourself. It'll really surprise you. One thing that's slightly disappointing about the boss encounters is that you don't play on a special track like in the original game. You play on one of the other tracks, one of the first tracks you play when you enter the world, which is slightly a letdown, and I gotta admit it really did annoy me the first time I played. And good lord, I just really didn't enjoy it. I wish I could, but I can't really. And all the bosses have one major upside. Well, in this case, downside if you're racing against them. They have an unlimited amount of items. This allows them to spam bombs or sticky bombs or rockets or nitro crates, which will basically throw you out of the race. Unless you know every shortcut, how to special boost like this dude here, I have no idea how he's doing this right now, then that's the only way, and I mean the only way you'll beat some of these bosses. This game has some great courses too, and I gotta admit, I love the course design in this game. It's brilliant. All the characters have their original voice actors, including Crash himself, unbelievably, and some characters from spin-off games are in this, including Entrance from Crash Bandicoot 2, Entranced for the Game Boy, which I was not expecting in this game. And yes, I will be getting around to the Game Boy games, you'll be happy to know. I gotta admit, all the tracks are well made. However, I began to notice something. When I played CTR, I started noticing that a lot of the tracks were similar to ones in Crash Nitro Kart. And since Crash Nitro Kart came out after CTR, yeah, when the game was rushed, they had to copy assets from the original Team Racing. And if you want to get a better overview of that, go ahead and check out the Stimpyland's channel. Sadly, Stimpyland quit YouTube, so the only way you can watch that video is if you check out the Stimpyland re-reviews, in which someone has taken the courtesy to re-upload all of Stimpy's videos. And yeah, I don't know how you put links in videos yet, so yeah, just look up the Stimpyland re-reviews, and I'm pretty sure you'll find that channel. I gotta admit, all the tracks are well made, but there's one problem in this game, and this problem is one I didn't talk about in the top 3, because I was kind of restricted on time. The problem was, and just say it with me, some tracks are futuristic funlands, which make the game super fun. The game also has a gimmick which was borrowed from Mario Kart 8. Well, Mario Kart 8 actually borrowed this. And, oh dear, sorry, did not mean for that to pop up. Let me just, yeah, I'm actually recording this on my phone. Basically, it's hover racing. Whenever you get to specific parts of the track, you'll start hovering. This will indicate you're at a hover racing part of the track, meaning things are about to get slightly harder, in my opinion. And yeah, there is one massive problem with this game I cannot, and I repeat, cannot stand. The final boss, Emperor Velo, is a pain in the butt to deal with. He has the fastest speed in the game, has the best turning in the game, and has the best acceleration in the game. AKA, he's God in this game, which makes it super unfair when you're racing him. Not to mention, he has unlimited everything. Yeah, the dude has unlimited of every item. Not to mention, he has little minions that race for him, meaning if one of those minions catches up and passes you, it'll count as Velo passing you. I gotta admit, Velo is actually a good villain in this game. He threatens to blow up the entire galaxy unless you entertain his townspeople, which I gotta admit is really suspenseful, because if you don't complete your mission, all of planet Earth is, well, screwed. But there's one thing that makes this unfair. You gotta race the dude twice. Because as soon as you beat him, he forces you to complete the Gem Cup. And after you complete the Gem Cup, you then, and I repeat, you then have to beat every boss again, beat every track again, then beat Velo again, and beating him once was hard enough, but doing it twice was basically dumb. You have to complete a bunch of time trials and get the CNK tokens, which are basically the exact same things you do in Crash Team Racing. However, the CNK tokens are really hard. You need to collect the C, the N, and the K tokens scattered around the entire, racetrack, and come first. Which I gotta admit is kind of unfair, since some of the tokens are hidden in the most asinine and dumb of places. Seriously, half of these places you would never, ever think to look. There's actually a shocking plot twist as soon as you beat Velo. As soon as you beat Velo, you find out that, interestingly enough, he's actually one of the townspeople who's pretending to be Velo, who actually passed away years ago. Is Crash Nitro Kart a perfect game? No. The controls are a little bit stiff, and some of the boss fights can be very unfair. But Crash Nitro Kart is a game worth your attention. So if you have a PlayStation 2, an Xbox 360, or the original Xbox, this game would be worth your time. And I gotta admit, I like it. And I'm showing you the ending for Team Crash because it's a lot better than the one Team Cortex gets. That's why my final rating for this game is a 7.5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you all later.